Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. Today's video will be about who is England's best attacking midfielder and what can Gareth Southgate expect to choose choices with. Right then, the first player that is really the central attacking mid option for England is the Man City starlet, that is Phil Foden. Thoughts first of all on Foden?
Just straight away,
Phil Foden this season, we'll say.
Yeah, well, he broke through into the Manchester City team a couple of years ago,
yeah.
But has only really become a regular starter as of this season. I'd say, like he's more so towards the back end of last season, but this season definitely he's enjoyed a lot of football. Just purely statistically, he's played 31 games in all comps and we're just over halfway through the season. In that time, he scored 11 goals and 6 assists from the centre midfield, which is obviously brilliant stats, as have kind of the rest of them on this list as well.
Yeah.
He's got specific qualities himself that he can bring to the side. One is that he's an elite finisher, and I think England have been lacking a goal-scoring midfielder for a long time. When we've seen in the friendlies that he played when his first England call-up, that he can kind of play not off the striker, but he can pick up them kind of pockets of space around the edge of the box and kind of sense when a goal or an opportunity to get a goal and get in the boxes. You know, for his first goal, I think he was assisted by Jadon Sancho, wasn't he? And he could sense obviously that Sancho was good enough to get to the byline and cut it back to him. And he's, instead of just having Harry Kane in there now, it'd be nice to have another attacking midfielder in there just for bodies more than anything. And Southgate will like that because obviously his system relies on wingers getting to the byline and kind of cutting back chances for Kane and for his central midfielders.
What we said before off the video was the good thing with Foden is he can play in multiple positions in the top of the pitch.
Yeah.
So it could be a very good option to choose. Obviously, I do believe, unless he's injured, Foden's going to get in the squad 100%.
I agree.
But like you said previously, I mean, is he top goal scorer Man City this season, or is Gundogan?
It's Gundogan and Raheem Sterling, but he's not far away.
Yeah. So, I mean, to have that. Basically, he has been carrying Man City for quite a few games this season. To think at that age, carrying Man City already, and I don't think he's getting enough interest from other clubs. Not like I'm trying to say he should leave Man City, but I'm saying like no one really played as well Real Madrid or like all these other clubs sniff around it. But you just haven't seen that, have you?
Yeah, I just think he's similar to a lot of players on this list. That he's kind of Manchester City born and bred, so like he's never going to leave City. So I think kind of they know that there's no point going in for him. But yeah, I think you're right. He has stepped up massively so far this season, and I think it'd probably be between him and Bukayo Saka for young player of the year in the Premier League.
Possibly, yeah.
But he's just, I think the biggest compliment you can give to Phil Foden is that there's players in the Manchester City squad like Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan,
who was playing out of position just to let Foden play.
Yeah, and he's kind of shining amongst them, if not better than them in some instances. He's winning games on his own for City.
That's what I'm saying to you about the fact he's carrying Man City. You might win 1-0 and just Foden with the goal.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. It was similar. That was like last season as well. A couple of times last season, you won 1-0 and Foden scored just the only goal.
When he's in a flow as well, he's so unpredictable. When it went in that friendly, when he was just like taking touches on the back heel on the byline and slipping players in and stuff.
The skills he was doing on that far side on the wing as well.
Yeah.
Playing, like I said, because you can play anywhere in that forward like 4 kind of area. He's just a very very good asset, and he will be, I think, probably the next best player in this decade. He'll be the best player.
I said this a couple of weeks ago. The lad can do whatever he wants with the talent he's got. He can be England's highest scoring midfielder. He can be City's highest scoring midfielder. He can be England captain if he wants to be. Honest to God, he's got the world at his feet if he continues to play like this. The lad's 20 years of age.
Yeah, just no more trips twice should be right.
No more trips twice, but we've spoke about this, haven't we? That we seemingly with England get talent through in one position.
We do.
Last year it was the right backs. Now it's
might be a video we might do before. We're all there excited for Euros, both of us, but we're saying we might do a video about the right back options, and obviously we're going to do a massive video hopefully.
I'm not looking forward to the video where we've got to pick the 23-man squad. We were just talking about it off camera, and we're like, my God, like we're struggling. 23 is not a lot when you have to take him to account. You've got to account for injuries in each position and stuff like that. But that's another discussion for another day.
But yeah, Phil Foden, he'll be starting 11, I reckon, for England. Do you agree?
I think so, yes. If he continues performing like this towards the end of the season.
The next option that is available for Gareth Southgate in the central attacking mid option is Aston Villa's main man, that is Jack Grealish. 7 goals, 12 assists in 23 games this season. He's only just recently got the England squad again, which was just still crazy to me somehow. Thoughts, Jack Grealish?
Another, I mean, I'm going to say the same about all 4 of them, but another one who's enjoyed an incredible last 18 months. A player who rose through quite young again, and then has not had probably the best time of it up until the last 18 months. Obviously, playing with significantly less quality than Phil Foden at Aston Villa. They've had a brilliant season. They've had a great season, but a large part of it is down to Jack Grealish and how good he is. We spoke about it the other day, like how kind of ordinary Villa looked going forward without Grealish in that game when they lost to Leicester. And his stats as well. I mean, you just said, like, obviously 7 goals, 12 assists in 23 games in all competitions. That's hugely impressive considering obviously the likes of Phil Foden, Mason Mount, they're playing in the Champions League as well. Villa have literally just got 2 cup competitions and the Premier League. And Grealish isn't going to play much in the cup comps because they want him for the league. It's testament, I think, to his quality that Villa are pushing for a Europa League spot, you'd say.
European.
European. Because they've got a few games in hand, haven't they? But his talent is so unpredictable. He's a flair player. I mean, you saw the techers in the Belgium. Is it the Belgium game when he flicked it over Tielemans' head? And but I mean, I say this about him, but it's the same for all 4 of them. They've all got kind of immense individual quality. But I think Grealish's sort of unpredictability is something that he brings to the squad more than the other 3, I'd say.
I mean, Grealish has been around for like the past 5 years or so. He's been
around for
you kind of like forget, like you feel like, I don't know how old he is, but you feel like he's still 21. No less than Jack Grealish, but he's been at Villa all his life. I mean, like you've seen him. I think it was like 2016. You saw him play in the Premier League with Villa, and you thought, wow, he's going to be a great player.
25 years of age, by the way.
There we go then. So
he's only really, like I say, he's only really shown his proper peak quality
he's past 2 years.
In the last 18 months. You know, obviously Villa had a tough start to the season last year and they looked like they were going to go down, and then obviously they pulled it out of the bag in a second. But even when they were struggling down there, Grealish was kind of the one who was dragging them through games and picking up important points, and he was important in their kind of promotion to the Premier League first of all.
He got punched in the face for it as well by Birmingham.
And then won the game.
He did.
So yeah, but he's another one that, I mean, I say this, but I can say it about all of them. He's one of them ones that I think's got to go.
Oh, he's gone. There's no chance he's not going. But it's like I said, he's similar to Foden. He's similar to Foden as well. That in fact he can play either 4 positions as well. We have so many players that are so versatile and play so well in all these positions. We're just blessed with what we've got.
What's horrible for Southgate is that there is going to be 1 or 2 big players that are going to miss out. Look, we've looked in England squads in the past, and I remember like we've took some absolute dross. We're thinking, you know, why have we took them now?
Andy Carroll and Danny Welbeck.
There's not going to be, well, regardless of your sort of personal opinion on players, there's not going to be one like dross option, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously you have opinions on players.
That's very right.
And Harry Maguire, but like they're still high level quality players. Like some like squads we've been scraping the barrel for quality. I remember Fabian Delph couldn't get a game at City and he was still going to the Euros in 2016. It was just like, why is he there? You know what I mean? But yeah, Jack Grealish is another one who, especially one thing that might give him the edge is how he performed in his first England call up in the last couple of friendlies. He
performed really well, didn't he? But then certain other players in this list were getting in above him, which we'll go on to anyway.
Yeah. Well, they were, but I think Southgate also give him his due credit.
Started fingering Mount, didn't he?
Yeah, he loves Mount. But to be fair to Southgate, I think he did give him credit in the last couple of games and what's it called? And give him the game time that he sort of deserved.
Third player out of 4, we've chosen 4 because we think this is the main 4 that should be in the squad, is Leicester's James Maddison. On previous video we've talked about how well and how good he is this season for Leicester. If you want to check that video out, we'll put it in the description. 11 goals and 10 assists in 32 games this season, just crazy to think about that. 21 goal involvements in 32 games, that's basically 2 or 3 games he's got something in him. all these players here are so similar, but James Maddison is one of those players as well out in this list that he can smack the ball. He can hit the. He's about what I think he's more the long range man. I say the free kick kind of guy out of these four. I'd say he can also not to doubt anyone's ability, but I feel like his passing ability and his ability to shoot from long range is a lot better than the other four on this list. Other three on this list. He plays regularly. I'm not saying he plays, but he plays regularly in the same position. The other players in this list constantly play in different positions, for example. So if Maddison does get England squads, he's only going to play one position, unlike the others in this list. So that could be one of his downfalls, perhaps, if he wants to get in the England squad. He's had Jamie Vardy on top of him for most of the season, and when he's not been there, he's shown out once again how important and how great a footballer he is. I mean, we forget, once again, Grealish and Maddison have all signed from Championship. Not signed for or playing the Championship regularly. They did before they came into the Premier League. Maddison with Norwich, and obviously Grealish with Villa.
Yeah.
So it just proves the fact that you, from Mount as well, had a lot of games in the Championship, for example. It could prove that you need maybe game time in the lower leagues, but for example, Phil Foden needs to stay in Man City, and look what's happened to him. So
yeah, I think it's shown its different ways. I think the example of Foden's a good one, because it's like Foden. Well, look at a kind of England teammate in Jadon Sancho. You can go away and make a career somewhere else, but you can also stay and kind of fight your way into the team and show your quality at your parent club. You know what I mean? What is kind of scary about this, and the fact that you just give him loads of praise, and I completely agree, and I think he's a fantastic player, is that he's probably the most likely out of the four to miss out.
That's what I'm saying too.
If he only has space to take 3 of them 4, I think he's the one that's going to miss out. But he's, especially in the last couple of months, when Vardy had his hernia operation, he stepped up and has kind of carried Leicester through that rut. I think you're right about his position, because
I think that's probably my
because he's had Harvey Barnes and Mark Albrighton kind of on the wings, and he can just kind of operate in that centre of the pitch. And then when you've got the runs of Vardy, you don't really need to take any pace off it here.
All he plays is in the centre mid. I don't think I've ever seen him play on the wing either. Even when some people might be injured, he's just sticking in the middle as well. Which he's
also never played with a sort of target man type finisher like Kane.
He didn't. I don't think he signed for Leicester before they won the league, did they?
No.
So he signed after. So he wasn't in there when like Lionel Roger was on the Okazakis were there.
So he's used to playing it through to the pace of Harvey Barnes and the pace of Jamie Vardy. Is he good at playing off a big centre forward? I don't know, because we've never seen him play like that. But the benefit the likes of Grealish and Foden have over that, and Mount, is that Mount's played off Giroud. Ollie Watkins has been more of a tight man than a kind of running behind, I'd say, for Villa.
Perhaps, yeah.
City have been playing without a striker, so Foden's had to play with a number of players. So that is another way that maybe Maddison will be judged, but I think personally he'll be taken to the next friendlies, the next lot of, not the friendlies, the World Cup qualifiers.
There is, first of all, a 28-man squad that gets released.
Yeah.
No,
well, he'll be part of it.
There's a 30-man squad that gets
He'll be
released
part
first,
of the 28-man squad.
and then obviously 7 players then get taken away from that list, and then they stick with the 23 then.
Yeah. But I think all 4 of them will be taken in these next World Cup qualifiers, and that'll give him a chance to kind of show Southgate for the last time.
Fingers crossed. But like I said, because of how rich we are in that position. But like I said to you, I do think because you can only play in one position, that could be his unfortunate downfall. The last player out of the 4, you probably mentioned his name a couple of times back, so now he's Mason Mount. 34 games he's played for Chelsea season, which I didn't realise he had played that many games.
They've played in 4 comps as well, because they've got, like I said with Foden, he's got the Champions League as well, hasn't he? So he's been playing that for him.
5 goals and 6 assists for him. He basically the best player under Lampard when
100%.
He's in charge. He's been playing more now. He's been playing a little bit. He didn't play the first couple of games of the Tuchel, but then jumped in and played really well straight away.
Came off the bench. So there was quite an interesting interview with Tuchel yesterday where he kind of said, "Look, I picked the team when I was on the plane there because I had pretty much 12 hours to prepare for the game against Wolves." But as you said, he was the one shining light in the Lampard reign, and he's carried that form under Tuchel. I watched the Atletico Madrid game yesterday, and although he didn't contribute with a goal, I thought his all-round play was very dangerous. as much as, like I said, these four are similar, he's different in a way because he's very sort of low centre of gravity. He can drift past players very easily. Okay. He's very good at picking up pockets of space around the edge of the box where he can slip in a man. Or like with Foden, I think he's good at being in them areas where he can score a goal, whether it's a tap in or not. My opinion on Mason Mount's drastically changed in the last 12 months. As well. When he first broke through into the England squad, I thought, is he the quality we need? You know, when we've got these other lads coming through, you know, is he? At first, I was like, nah, I think Southgate's giving him too much game time, really, when we can be progressing these lads through. But he's really kind of stepped up a couple of levels in the last 12 months, at least, I'd say.
As well with Mason Mount, you can play a bit deeper as well. So
he comes deeper and receives the ball.
So if he wants to play maybe in that holding role where possibly Henderson and Rice may play, one of them gets injured, you can come back and sit in that position.
Well, that is the big issue, isn't it? Because it completely depends on how Southgate wants to play. Does he want to
flat centre mids?
Does he want to play with a DM and 2 8s, or does he want to play with a DM, Henderson, and then 1? Because then there's absolutely no chance he takes all 4 if he plays with one of these 4. Because you imagine the 2, like we said before, would be Declan Rice and Jordan Henderson. Rice is the sitter, Henderson is the one kind of linking Rice to the attacking midfield.
If they do that, then you're going to have to take a couple more CDMs in because they need 2 positions. For example, like the fullbacks, you've got 2 fullbacks, you're going to take 4 fullbacks.
But then again, you said as well, Foden can play just as equally off the left as can Grealish, so they could take a couple of them.
More, yeah.
But then again, you've got the question of Eric Dyer. Does Eric Dyer count as DM or does he count as a centre half?
And also you got Calvin Phillips possibly playing for England as well. He's been
James Ward-Prowse.
We didn't put him on his list, unfortunately, but we've said.
Yeah, but he could be in the Henderson role, couldn't he?
Could be. We said more James Ward-Prowse is more of a
just subbing for free kicks, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean.
But I would like to ask you.
Go on.
If you had to choose the squad today, how many would you take as of now, and who would the people you take? If that makes sense.
Out of these 4.
Yeah, out of these 4. Well, we've just to kind of end it off. We put Jesse Lingard on the list at first because I don't know if we're just part of the J Lings hype in this last couple.
We
of weeks.
just want to think we just put him on because of the fact that how he's turning around.
And Gareth Southgate's picked players on form.
He has, and Jesse Lingard has played quite a few times, and he's playing really well for England as well. He's one of the quite a few England players in the past couple of years who's just done really well consistently for England.
100%.
We're not counting in a 4, but we think that if there's possible injury to any of these players in this list, Jesse Lingard could just come in that be that 5th man, for example.
Possibly, but I can't. If we're struggling to pick 4, struggling to pick from these 4, I can't see Lingard.
That's what I'm saying.
Ali, if any of these lads coming back.
If there's an injury out of any of these 4 players, I think Lingard.
Southgate has always said that he's picked on form, and if you get him picked for the qualifiers and stuff like that, then you're more than likely going to be picked for the.
We could just play 4-1-6 and just play 4 cams for all of them and they wouldn't be bothered. We just go straight for it if we wanted to, all that kind of stuff. But I think I'd bring all 4. I think Mount can play in any of the centre mid positions, which is good.
Yeah.
Like I said already, Grealish and Foden could play any of those 4 positions up top, so it'd be really good for the wingers. We could also, though, however, some wingers miss out, which we'll come to as well. Maddison, who play well, has that 10, but like I said, he can only play as the 10. So if he does play, he's only going to play in one position, and he might struggle, possibly get game time if other players basically want to play in that position.
And you got to think it's not like a season. We're playing 3 group games, and then after that, you could be going home. You know what I mean?
I know.
Potentially. So at the moment in time, you're picking a squad for 3 games.
But just beat Scotland. That's all I want. I'm not bothered about the other games. Just beat Scotland, and we're fine.
But I'd love him to bring 4, but I can't see it unless he changes stuff about in his squad.
All these 4,
especially if he's playing a 5, he's not going to bring 4. Go on, sorry.
The next friendlies we've got next month, if he brings all 4, then we'll be able to tell. But this is the real thing. The next friendlies, if he brings all 4, then we'll know what's going to happen. But if he doesn't bring all 4, let's say one of these misses out, then we know what the plan is going to be. So,
well, if I was going to bring 3. I'd bring Foden, Grealish and Mount. I don't know if you agree.
I agree, yeah.
As much as that's nothing against Maddison.
But I'm saying
I don't think
Maddison's had
that-
the best stats as well in the games he's played, and he's got the most goals and assists as well, which is just crazy. On that note, we'll end the video there anyway. If any of you agree or disagree, let us know on any social medias, because we need. Well, we've got got the 50 subscriber mark now recently as well, which is good to see. But we need more engagement from you guys. We're not getting enough engagement. Maybe we're not posting on other social media sites enough. For example, we need more guys to come across and watch. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, share the video if you can. I'd much appreciate it. And we'll see you later. Goodbye.